The six-stick tensegrity structure is how the human body is connected between bones and muscles. So the bones being the floating structure is which are the popsicle sticks are connected through the connective tissues and muscles being the elastic bands. It's important to realize that all the bones being are not stable on their own, and that it's the elastic bands that or the muscles in connective tissues that help keep all the bones strong and provide strength and equally distributes different kinds of stresses, whether that be internal or external forces such as gravity or um, us lifting weights, putting the stress on our own bodies. You can see that when I pull here, how all the elastic bands stretch out in any way. Now, the shoulder joint, abduction and adduction, happens in the frontal plane about the sagittal axis. Or when you're throwing a ball, it's in the frontal plane upon the diagonal axis. So when I'm up like this with the ball, that's abduction, and when I'm throwing it up in a diagonal motion, that's adduction. The lumbar spine lateral flexion happens in the sagittal plane about the frontal axis. An exercise to represent this would be side bends. The shoulder girdle protraction and retraction is in the transverse plane about the vertical axis. Protraction meaning towards the front or anterior, and retraction meaning towards the back or posterior. So when I'm standing with the weights on my side and I rotate my palms forwards, it's protraction, pushing my shoulders forwards, which is anterior, and up, which is superior. And then when I rotate my arms the other way, that's retraction, pushing my shoulders downwards and backwards, or posterior and inferior. Knee flexion and extension is in the sagittal plane about the frontal axis. An exercise for this would be squats. So when I'm squatting down, medial, my knees are medial, more medial. When I'm flexing, or with flexion, and then when I'm extension, they're more lateral. For hip, medial, and lateral movement, it happens in the transverse plane about the vertical axis. So, an exercise for this would be leg raises. This being lateral, and when I come back down, that being medial.